Life's going to happen to you whether you go for it or not. But if you go for it on purpose without the worry of what if, you start to influence the outcome of your life. You can choose, you can call the shots. You get to dictate where you want to go. If you do nothing, shit's going to happen anyway. So leave the worry in the future and start living in the present and influence how you want your life to play out rather than just going with the flow and taking it as it comes. Now, if you want to optimize your life without worrying, weighing you down, grab your free life map below where I'll show you how to design, build, and live your dream life with confidence. Now, I don't sleep well, and I haven't slept well most of my life. I've had a racing mind, crazy anxiety, just weighing me down, worrying about the day, worrying about what's happening tomorrow, how I'm going to be able to do something. I'm stuck living in the future. It was so strong that it would stop me from falling asleep for at least an hour. It was like I had to schedule an hour of worry before bed. Drove me crazy, well into my 30s. Now, going through one of the many personal development courses that I did, I started asking myself, what am I worried about? Why am I worried about this thing? What's the worst that can happen? Is it really going to affect my life? And the more I asked these questions, the more I found much of it was just fear of the unknown. Not really knowing what was going to happen and worrying about something that hasn't happened. That might never happen. And the more I did this, the more I let go of worry. The easier it was to be able to fall asleep. I focused more on gratitude, being thankful for the things that I did have in my life, rather than worrying about what could happen. I don't think worry is really something that creeps into my mind anymore. I tend to just push it aside because I'm enjoying the unknown. The unknown is where the real fun stuff happens. So what about during the day? Or at work, or while socializing? I learned to be myself and be present. The more I could be present, the more I could be conscious to what's going on around me, really paying attention to what's happening. I learned that I had no control over a lot of the situations I was in anyway, so the more that I can relax into it, the more that I can just enjoy whatever this new experience is going to be. And the same goes for you. So you can quit worrying, and you can do it this way. First of all, what I suggest is write your worries down before bed. Get them out of your head. Call it scheduled worry time if you want to. A lot of people refer to it like that. But just give yourself 5 minutes of worrying the shit out of everything. Worry, 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 worry. If you have to set an alarm for it, cool, 5 minutes, worries, gone. I've done my worry time. If you put your head on the pillow and you start worrying about something, nope, sorry. I've done my worry time, I can do that again tomorrow. Look, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of the time we're just having to play mind games with ourselves in order to rewire our psychology. See, the brain learns, and it basically, it has these neural pathways. So imagine a pathway like this. The more that you do something, the more that this myelin sheath wraps around that thing, and it makes that pathway stronger and stronger and stronger. It might start out really thin, like like a hair on your head. And it might end up really thick because it is reinforced constantly, more like the size of my finger. Now that's a very strong neural pathway if it gets to that sort of size. The thing is, if you can stop focusing on what's going on in this neural pathway, they start to unwind and they get smaller and smaller. And you can create new neural pathways that rewire that behavior so that this is now insignificant and eventually it can just fall away. So if you can get those worries out of your head, then that's great. Don't like the scheduled worry time, or don't like sitting there thinking about it, journal it. Give yourself your scheduled worry time and just write it all down. Anything that's going on in your head that you're worried about, write it down. I write like this because I'm pretending to use a pen and paper. I find that writing with a pen and paper especially when it's trying to get things out of your head, is the most easiest way to do it. You can do it on your phone, and sometimes that's more convenient, but I find that picking up a phone is a distraction in the first place, and then that distraction can lead you to turning it on, checking notifications, and getting yourself lost in the rabbit hole of what a phone does for us. So pen and paper is generally much easier if possible. Main thing is we're just trying to get whatever those worries are out of your head. So number 2, challenge those worries and see if they are real. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? So the first part of that is this worry real? Is this even possible? Or am I just making shit up? Sometimes the worries that we have are of the most bizarre, improbable situations, and that what if just really isn't worth even considering, because the likelihood of that happening is like the possibility of the abominable snowman knocking at your door and asking if he can borrow $10. I mean, it's just crazy. So see if those worries are actually real. And this is why I like writing them down. It's like you got it written down on paper. Sometimes you write it down and you look at that in a regular state of mind and you think, oh, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Maybe not all the time, but some of the time. So for anything else, what's the worst that can happen? What is the worst case scenario? And is it likely that this worst case scenario is actually going to happen? Or am I just putting myself under stress for no good reason? What's the worst that can happen? And is that really that bad? Number 3, learn to live in the present. Now this one takes a lot more work, because we get so accustomed to living in the past based on our memories and things that have happened in the past, experiences that we have had. We like to reminisce about the past, the good old days. Were they really that good, or is that just the glorified image of the good old days? Because a lot of the time when you talk about the good old days, you remember the good things and you forget about the bad. You just remember the highlight reel, because there's probably a whole lot of bad stuff that went along with that as well. So sometimes you got to leave the past in the past. It can be good to talk about good memories like that, but if you spend too much time focusing on what happened in the past, then you're not paying attention to what's happening right now. What about the future? The future is the worry zone. The future is the what ifs, the unknown. And there's nothing wrong with the unknown. In fact, we like to have control of our lives, because then that allows us to be able to relax a little bit more. And a lot of this comes into our fear centers, where saber-toothed tiger was trying to eat you on a regular basis, and you had to, keep your eye out all the time. You had to be able to be ready to run or fight, whatever it was going to be, in order to survive. Well, you don't need to worry about those things anymore, so you can relax a whole lot more. But that relaxing point also leads us to that point of, all right, well, I'm not worried about that. What else am I going to worry about? Maybe I need to be worrying about something. Sometimes we build up these stressful situations in our mind just out of habit. It's not real, but maybe that's what you grew up with. There was always some sort of stress there. It might have been not eating enough, or not knowing that you had a safe place to sleep at night, or whatever it is. But is that your situation now? Or are you living in the past? Or are you just worrying about that happening in the future? Can you bring yourself back to the present? It took me a long time to get this point where I was actually feeling like I was living in the present. In fact, it was last year. I was 45 and I finally got to a point where I felt more present than I've ever felt. That's a long time to be living in worry land or living in the past. Now, there may have been other times in my life where I was able to be present, but these days I focus on it as much as possible. Right now I'm filming a video and I want to be absolutely 100% my best self while I'm filming a video. To do that, I have to really be focused on just this one thing. I'm not worried about what's happening next. I'm not thinking about what I'm having for lunch until I say about I'm having something for lunch. And now my brain is going there. So how can I bring it back to being present right now? Where am I? What am I focused on? Do I need to worry about this thing that I've got to do next? Or have I got enough time set aside that I'm going to be able to get this done and still get along with the rest of my day? I already have time put aside for what I need to do, so I don't need to think about it. I'm good. I am safe here doing what I'm doing and only doing this. I'm using my video. I have my phone turned off so I don't have to think about any distractions. I've told anyone that's around that do not disturb me. I am doing this thing. This is my one thing. I don't want any distractions from anywhere because I want to be present. So what do you need to do to be able to make you more present? Are you sitting down having dinner with somebody, grabbing your phone, checking it, going on, looking what's going on there? Or is your phone pushed to the side? You don't need to touch that right now. Are you with the person that you are with? Are you 100% paying attention to that person? Or are you reaching for your phone? Or are you thinking about your phone? Or are you thinking about the other thing that you need to do? Bring it back to the present. Bring it back to where you are right now. What is the task that you're doing? Who are you in front of? Can you pay attention? Can you show up as your best self in front of that person in order to have the best conversation possible? It's a practice. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is a practice that you will get better at if you can concentrate on it. Number 4, get healthy. The more you get healthy, the better your body will work. The better your body works, the better your mind works. The more clear you are in your thinking. The more clear you are, the more energy you have, the less you're going to worry, the less you're going to be in a stressed state. A lot of us live in this fight or flight state. Now, I've spoken about chronic fatigue. One of the things with that is knowing that you've only got a certain amount of energy for the day. So you always are thinking steps ahead to prepare yourself for I need to be able to do this in order to be able to do this, in order to be able to do this and this and this. Well, that's pretty hard. That takes a lot of energy if I have to think about all of these things in order just to be able to survive the day. Is that absolutely true or not? I don't know. Right now, the healthier I am, the more energy I have, the more vibrant I am, the easier it is for me to be able to stay present. I'm not stressing or worrying about whatever that next thing is. I've got plenty of energy. I'm relaxed. And I'm okay with whatever that next thing is that shows up. Whatever it may be. Good or bad. So just be patient. Work on your health constantly. Trying to get healthier. If you're getting fitter, if you're getting stronger, if you're working on your mental health, all of these things help to grow vibrant health and energy. That vibrancy, that keeps the anxiety away too. So try and focus on that. Number 5, finally, we tend to worry about others judging us, but at the end of the day, they're often way too busy judging themselves. Everybody has their own thing going on. They're probably going through the same battle that you are, worrying about this, worrying about that. Is my hair okay? Have I got a booger hanging out my nose? Did I shave today? Is there a big stain on my shirt? What are they going to think about me? Is someone going to come and talk to me? Like, we're all worried most of the time. So if you're worried about somebody else judging you on who you are, just think they're in the exact same boat. They're worried about you judging them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just let that go. You don't need to worry about that judgment because everyone has that same innate fear of being judged. Let it go. Don't worry about it. It probably bugs you when you hear people say, oh, don't worry. For an anxious person, hearing don't worry is probably a major trigger. But you've just learned a whole bunch of strategies that will help you Push that worry aside. Keep that anxiety out of your mind. It's holding you either in the future or in the past and keeping you away from your present moment. Anxiety is worrying about a situation that hasn't happened and may never happen. So Dr. Seuss, he said, be who you are and say how you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Do that and you'll be fine. Live the life that you want to live. Stay present as possible. That's how you're going to get the most out of your life. Now, if you need help making this year your best year and being confident, not worrying about different things, you can join my free Life Map program below, where I'll coach you for 28 days on how to design, build and live a life that you love. Click the link below and I'll see you on the inside.